Lilibet does not respect Diana at all. The plan to steal the late Queen's name is really pissing us off in Sussex. Hello my friends and welcome to the Princess Diana News channel. At her christening, Princess Charlotte of Wales was officially named Charlotte Elizabeth Diana. Now Charlotte was chosen by Catherine and William, and then of course Elizabeth was a surname on both sides. Diana was obviously honoring William's late mother, so Charlotte was actually paying tribute to her late majesty, as well as other family members. Of course, this also applies to the beautiful Diana. So the point is that Catherine and William concealed their surnames very well. Chapter Okay, let's talk about Charlotte's invisible cousin Lilibet. She was born on June 4th. According to PR sources, it was named after the late Princess Diana. Well, let's think about it for a bit. When I first came across the name Lilibet, I read a quote from King George. He said he hoped nothing would come between Lilibet and the crown. He felt that David was destroying himself in a year. Looking back now, he was definitely a prophet, wasn't he? If they really wanted to honor the Queen, they would have named her Elizabeth Mary of Alexandria. Let's take Archie as an example. Well, if Archie was a real person and he grew up and had a son of his own and wanted to honor his father, he would name his son Henry, right? Chapter he won't call him has, therefore, Lilibet does not bear the name of the late Princess Diana. If that was the case, her name would be Diana, right? I find it hard to believe that the decision to call her Lilibet instead of Elizabeth was unintentional. They decided to use the name that only her closest family members would call the late Queen. The name was given to her sister Margaret as a child because she could not say Elizabeth, and then it was a pet name used by her husband, Prince Philip. But they didn't even ask his permission to use that name. They knew it would never be given. They did this only to create more conflict. Now they say they are not interested in titles. Meghan says she has the only title that means anything. Mother's name, oh, disgusting. But didn't they rush to christen Lilibet, the Queen, when Harry's father became king? They were trying to get Americans to pretend that their children were actually royal princes and princesses. But, unfortunately, many of my peers have fallen for this little trick. They were content neither with nor without royal majesty, which King Charles had not bestowed upon them. Titles don't really matter. They are basically meaningless. But how wrong was it for her to use such a personal name given to the late Queen Lilibet without even asking if it was okay? Chapter the late Queen never saw this child. What a slap in the face. Of course, it's not her fault that she really is. But when she grows up again, if she's real and hears all the controversy her parents caused, knowing that her great-grandmother was a deeply loved woman all over the world, his mental health is going to suffer. Unless, of course, they lock these kids up forever. Or, more likely, the child never existed. We know why Meghan did what she did. There is only one reason. She wants to be seen as the royal she claims to hate because both the late His Majesty Prince Charles and then Prince Charles played her silly games and did not accept his pathetic accusations. She thought they would grant her every request and give her anything she wanted, just to shut her up. She didn't expect that Her Majesty's insight was astonishing. She was not a foolish old woman who loved her grandson so much that she would do anything for him. His Highness, in all his wisdom, has met a lot worse people than Meghan Markle. So he knew how to behave with him. She ignored them. And he knew the truth would come out and Meghan Markle would look like an idiot, and now, look at this. Turns out she was right. When Queen died, the world lost a truly remarkable lady. I think her loss will affect us forever. I hope everyone can understand that we were lucky to have him for so long. Unfortunately, thanks to Harry and Meghan, their final years were full of stress. We know why Meghan Markle chose the name Lilibet. It was the middle finger pointing at the late Queen, telling her that she could do whatever she wanted. It was for revenge that the royal family left. Well, it looks like karma is back to get Meghan and Harry. Look at both of them now. Falling doesn't even begin to describe it. As more people begin to understand what elder abuse looks like, as more people are able to recognize it, I think more and more people will understand that this disgusting couple is perpetrators of horrific acts. I really can't find words to describe the drastic changes they have brought to the entire family. It's so disgusting that I think I understand why they want to take the title away from them. Harry lights up after it all. Then Meghan had the nerve to expect people to use the nickname, the Duchess, when speaking to her. I mean, she even uses that title when calling members of Congress and ordering food at restaurants. How sad can she be? Well, in Meghan's delusional mind, she and her children are much better than normal people. And so of course they should be referred to by their titles. Even if America doesn't care about royal titles, the United States does not recognize royal titles. But for Meghan, that's not a problem. She only cares about status. She doesn't care if it's made up, so she'll make people think her invisible child is a real royal. She said that when they go to school, other children have to give them titles when they go to school. I mean, what happened to her? Does she want them to be bullied on the playground? Actually, I think I should correct what I said earlier. Now that I think about it, it might have been the late Queen herself who couldn't pronounce Elizabeth's name as a child. Therefore, Lilibet became a family pet name for him. But anyway, I don't think it matters who came up with the nickname. The fact is that this name was used only by close family members and her late husband, Prince Philip. Shortly before Lilibet was born, the Queen made it clear that the name could no longer be used. Meghan and Harry claim to be raising these invisible children no differently than how William and Catherine raised their actual royal children. The children of Wales are indeed princes and princesses, but are called by their first names by their school friends. They didn't get up when they entered the room. It's important to add that William and Catherine not only named their daughter after Diana, but also after King Charles and the late Queen. That was 5 years before Harry and Meghan's daughter was born. Her Royal Highness Princess Charlotte Elizabeth Diana. Third in line to the throne. Doesn't it look great? So I guess not only did they beat Harry and Meghan out with the name they chose for Invisibad, but they also decided to use a female version of Charles to honor him, since Meghan basically stole George's secret name for the archives, and it looks like she don't have any original ideas, even when it comes to naming those so-called her children. I guess it was just a ploy to get attention, as always. I mean, that's basically why they do everything. You want to seem important. They want to be very rich. I mean, they say they're trying to get out of the spotlight. In my opinion, they were careful to make themselves the center of attention at every opportunity. And I know some of you will disagree with me on this, but I still blame Meghan more than Harry. I mean, just think about it. Harry was already famous, but Meghan Markle wanted more. How does the world view him and the little people he represents? I mean, Harry looks incredibly weak and he looks like someone who needs medical intervention just to stop him. I mean, he's probably the biggest narcissist the world has ever seen. It's unstable, it's outdated, and I think it would be better for everyone if it was shared. But luckily, the royal family knows what to do. You did the right thing, they said nothing. They didn't respond. And Meghan fell into the trap, and now she has nothing, at least in the UK and the Commonwealth. The late Queen knew that the royal family could not survive if she decided to enter the game with Meghan. Well done to the royals, both junior and senior, for playing well and supporting King Charles, who could have been a nightmare for him. Now at his coronation he and Camilla saw that they were loved not only by the British people, but by so many foreigners who came to see him. Bad that livelihood. I wish them all the happiness in the world. And I hope it gets easier for them in the future, because they deserve it. I think the late Queen would have been proud of all the family members who work so hard every day, and they really came together to help each other run the country. And you, are you satisfied with me? Please let me know what you think in the comments below. If you think my video is useful, don't be afraid to like it and pass it on to others who will enjoy it. And please don't forget to subscribe to the Princess Diana News YouTube channel for more updates in the future. Thanks again for your support. You have a wonderful afternoon or evening or wherever you are, and we'll be with you again tonight.